Today there's going to be an event happening that I will probably never see again in my lifetime. This is something that people around here are kind of going crazy for right now, and that is a solar eclipse. This is when the moon actually crosses in front of the sun between the earth, and it casts a shadow. So basically during the daylight hours it becomes totally dark. This is just for a few minutes, but it is kind of a rare event. I mean, it does happen, but usually not in the same place, and it usually takes a while to come back. So I'll probably never see this again in my lifetime. I mean, it's possible, but not very likely. So the reason this is extra special is because I'm actually in an area where I will get the full totality of the eclipse. In other words, the entire sun will be covered, whereas most people that see this usually just see a partial covering. I am really excited for it, but I gotta say that I also want to get out and enjoy this beautiful spring weather. Before I do any of that, however, I need to get myself some coffee. So this is one of my favorite new coffee shops called Kamaria Coffee, and it's Yemeni coffee. They have so many different really amazing drinks here that I've never tried before, and it's my third time coming in a week. So something I'm doing today is grabbing something to eat from here as well, and these things are fantastic. I think this one they just call a honeycomb, but it's got cream cheese and honey on it. Kind of a breaded dessert. That is really good. So something else that I would love to touch on today is just the weather. And spring is one of my favorite times of year, and it has just been all over the place. And I don't think that's just true of this area, but I think it's all over the world. I mean, last week it was 20 degrees warmer than it should have been. This week it's 20 degrees colder than it should be. So I'm wearing this heavy jacket. I'm having to change my clothes or have 3 different outfits prepared every day, because you just never know, and it changes so quickly. I'm sure this is all part of that climate change, but it's really wreaking havoc. I mean, we're having tornadoes, earthquakes, more violent storms. It's just really not a good thing, but this is where we are. So I feel like, yes, spring is here and it looks beautiful today, but it's really hard to get a good day. I mean, this is the first sunny day I've seen in a while, and again, that's not normal either. This is such a cool Japanese bridge here in the park. I mean, that's something else. You don't see that a lot. Not here in the US anyway. You know what's really great is that I'm here pretty much by myself because I came really early, and that's the way I like it. I don't like to visit places when they're really crowded. So while I'm out here today in the park, I thought this would be a perfect chance to talk about all my spring travel plans, because they're coming up really quickly here and they're quite exciting, especially for me because I am heading back to Asia, and I'm going to a country that I love, that you've probably seen lots of videos already that I've made, but that is South Korea. And I'm really looking forward to this. I've been reaching out to friends. And this is because I spent years living there, working there. It's basically like a home for me when I'm not in the US. And certainly my home when I'm in Asia. I do like to travel to other countries as well over there, but that's the one that I'm most comfortable with. And that's coming up really soon. So I'll actually be there in a few weeks. And I'll probably make a lot more vlog style videos like this so you guys can kind of come along with me and see what my life is like there. Maybe I can share some fun stories and travel to different parts that maybe you've never seen. This is great though. Today I'm getting a great workout here just walking around this park because it is quite big. They even have an amphitheater here that I'm kind of walking through right now. So they probably do a lot of events here. That is a really cool statue with the hands. And there they are, the cherry blossoms. So if you live here in Ohio, there are actually some great places to see these cherry blossoms in the spring. And I've probably talked about this before because every year about this time I come out because I love to see them. And we don't have as many as, say, Korea or Japan or even other parts of the US, like around Virginia and Maryland. But if you come here to Ohio or you're in central Ohio, come to Franklin Park. This is actually kind of the biggest city park, and it's right downtown, and it's a great spot to see these gorgeous blooming trees in, you know, early April, late March. Just looks so fantastic. There are a lot of geese out on this pond here today. And they are quite noisy. Don't want to get too close though. I feel like they'd probably chase me around the park. It's really theirs though anyway, right? They own this pond, so. I'm gonna just keep walking around this park though, because it is quite big, and see more because there's gonna be lots more of these cherry blossoms. I think there's like over 100, and they just kind of wrap around as you walk. And there's lots of other plants too here, lots of other flowers and trees. Well, besides just cherry blossoms, you've got these beautiful purple redbud trees that are just starting to come out now. They usually come out a little bit later though. There are just so many beautiful areas here to check out. And you're covered under these canopies of flowering trees. I don't even know what kind of tree this is, but I love it. It's these long hanging pink flowering branches coming down, almost like a waterfall of pink, but it is so pretty. Well, I had to take off my jacket because the weather got a little bit too warm here. And I put on some sunglasses, but of course I won't be using these to stare straight up at the sun, which is quite bright now overhead in the afternoon sky. I was a little bit worried about getting kind of cloudy, but it's actually looking pretty good. It's still pretty clear. A few clouds in the sky, but nothing too bad. Back to what I was saying a minute ago about the sunglasses here. These really aren't strong enough to stare up at the sun. And of course, you don't want to look at the sun with your naked eyes because then you're gonna go blind. So this is a quick safety tip or a thing you should know, and that is to get these special glasses designed for people that want to stare straight at the sun during the solar eclipse. Now, I won't be staring at the sun for the whole eclipse because it does take a few hours, but for the moments when I want to just kind of look up and see how much has been covered, I'll just look up for a few seconds each time. But these glasses here are very, very strong. In fact, if you look at the lenses here, they are really dark. I mean, you can't see anything really. Take a look, see how that looks. Can you see me still? Probably not. But yeah, so I'll put these on. And really I can't see anything until I look up at the sun. And now the sun actually does look, it actually looks kind of yellow and it's very dark around it. So, but when I look this way, I can't see a thing. So these again are specifically designed for today and what I want to do with them. I guess you could use them any day though to stare at the sun, but then again, there's not an eclipse every day, so there's no real reason to. It's almost totally eclipsed. There's just a tiny sliver that I can see that's still visible. But if I took these glasses off, it's still pretty bright out here, but it is definitely noticeably darker. And once it becomes the totality, I think the whole area will look like it's nighttime. Well, the ring is starting to form around it now, and pretty soon it's going to be totally dark. So now you can actually take off your glasses because you can see the totality of the solar eclipse. And it is like nighttime here right now. It is just insane, but it is so cool to see. All right, well, the sun just came back out. It's gonna start getting light again. So it only lasted for about a minute, maybe even less. But luckily I have like 3 or 4 cameras set up to capture it, because truthfully, I will not see this again. Oh wow, makes you feel small, doesn't it? This vast universe. Okay, I hope you guys all enjoyed hanging out with me today and going to the park, seeing some of the beautiful spring trees all around, like this cherry blossom right behind me. It started out cold, and of course now it's warm, and who knows what the weather's gonna be like tomorrow. But yeah, next time you see me, I'll be in Korea sharing some of my adventures. Until then, stay safe, healthy, and happy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me today. Life's a journey meant to be shared. Remember to always travel with an open heart and an open mind. Enjoy the ride and keep your eyes on the horizon for the next adventure. I'll see you out there.